Hey, this is D from Fellow Corner Podcast. Come join us on the corner to talk about entertainment, news, and all the above. Also follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Fellow Corner Podcast to get the latest on each episode. We'll be waiting. Let's discuss. Fellas Corner, yo. Let this rock.
I found that nothing in life is worthwhile unless you take risks. Nothing. Nelson Mandela said, "There is no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life that's less than the one you're capable of living." Now, I'm sure in your experiences in school and applying to college and picking your major and deciding what you want to do with life, I'm sure people have told you to make sure you have something to fall back on. Make sure you got something to fall back on, honey. But I never understood that concept, having something to fall back on. If I'm going to fall, I don't want to fall back on anything. I want to fall forward. I figure at least this way I'll see what I'm going to hit. Without consistency, you'll never finish. So do what you feel passionate about. Take chances. Don't be afraid to fail. There's an old IQ test, was 9 dots, and you had to draw 5 lines with a pencil within these 9 dots without lifting the pencil. The only way to do it was to go outside the box. Don't be afraid to think outside the box. Don't be afraid to fail big, to dream big. But remember, dreams without goals are just dreams.
Dreams without goal are just dreams. Good word from Denzel Washington. What's going on, OG?
What's going on, D? How's the life?
A little rainy, gloomy day.
Yeah, definitely. That was a great speech by Denzel right there.
Yeah.
Dreams without goals are just dreams.
I love motivational speeches.
Yeah. Hey, something uplifting, I guess. I watched that recommended music video movie from Beyonce the other day. Yeah, I actually watched it.
Black is King?
Oh, yeah. It was longer than I felt it was going to be. I mean, it was an hour, 20 minutes or something like that. It felt a lot longer than that.
Yeah.
Talk about motivation. She starred in it, written it, directed it, executive produced it, right?
Do you understand the storyline about?
Well, here, maybe I could ask you, because maybe you can have a better look of it for me. Is that I get the idea, the premise of it is that it's supposed to kind of follow through the journey from being that young. So the kid, the one that's like in the basket, the baby, is supposed to be the journey, right, from him being a baby to kind of going through life, right, and then the what was it? The uncle, right? For Lion King, the Scar, right? Scar is supposed to, the guy is supposed to symbolize Scar, like that other African guy that was kind of mean or giving dirty looks to some of the other people on there. So I didn't get it at that part, but I understood.
The purpose of the video is to tell black people that you're already a king when you grow up.
Okay.
So think about it. You're a king when you grow up. The outside noise always gonna say you're not a king. Just like black women, you're a queen when you grow up. So you have a lot of tests, a lot of adversity, a lot of everything before you become that king. And you kind of learn, just like life. You learn.
Yeah.
You learn how to be a king.
Correct.
Whether it's death, whether it's poverty, whether it's anything, you learn how to be a king. But once you learn how to be a king, you're a queen.
So the journey is that there's all these obstacles in his way.
Yep.
No matter what, he is who he is.
Yep.
And it doesn't matter. At the end, he's still going to finish strong and still be the king of his land.
Yeah. As I said, everybody's a king when they grow up. It's just it's different type of directions that you go to be that king.
And damn the vision that she had. I mean, to cut so many different scenes. You know, Pharrell, I mean, I don't know what kind of wall that was.
It's a much needed video, especially at this time of riots. Balder, have you been following Balderus? Is it Balderus? It's a place where next to Russia, they're having the same type of uprising as America right now, but it's obviously not televised as the others as well. Same type of uprising. They said that the votes was fixed and a guy.
So it's like the people against versus the government.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, king, everybody's a king. Black women, black men, you're kings and queens. And you, when you were first born, you just have to find your power and find your goal in life. And I guarantee you'll be one of the greatest because that's what we do.
And she's one of the greatest.
Yeah, she is. She is.
She passed my list of just music after what is this? I had Mary J. Blige pretty high up there. You know, she surpassed her watching this. I'm like, this is incredible. Her vision, the music.
She got a lot of volume of music. That's the thing.
Yeah,
and there's always a great music.
And it's still coming.
Mary J. Blige is. I like Mary J. Blige too.
Oh, yeah. I love her too.
She's one of the queen of
Oh, yeah,
R&B.
she is. But I'm saying, like, at this point, I'm putting Beyonce above her. You know, watching, I'm like, this is long, but it's different. It kept me interested. I watched it. You know, I want to watch it again because I want to get more perspective on all the different scenes and how one maybe ties to the other and the link, you know, going from one story to the other.
Oh, yeah.
As she tells it all the way till the end. And at the end, I think it finalizes right at the house, right?
Yeah,
where the mansion, where, you know, the choreography done there is incredible. Wow.
It's a beautiful thing. But I'm going house chopping, and I tell you, house chopping is tough.
Oh, yeah. You know, it's tough, but I got to honestly tell you, probably one of my favorite time ever in my life, right? Driving was fun. You know, I mean, just the fact that I was on the road, I jumped on the highway to kind of get away from being scared because, you know, when you learn, you're not teaching you on the highway.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So I jumped on the highway to figure out, hey, either I'm going to enjoy doing this or I'm not. And I jumped on the highway, loved it, and had a great time. And then when I went car shopping, the best. On top of that is house shopping. So I envy you right now. That's fun times.
Yeah, it's fun times. I just want to get the right one. I would say black people, you got to own your own stuff. The only way we're going to fix every situation now is ownership. You notice how everybody else, they own their own stuff. I just want more black people to own their own stuff, regardless of anything. I want them to be more financially stable, financially fit, because you could be financially stable but not financially fit.
Correct.
But I want financially stable, financially fit, and you want to have your education to kind of figure it out. And you don't always have to go to college to have education. There's something called book smart and street smart.
Correct.
I know a lot of my friends who didn't go to college that are very smart as welders, or they're smart as a mechanic and things like that. You don't always have to go to college to be smart. I always tell you that. I know a lot of people who went to college and they're working right now at retail. So at the end of the day,
whatever
it doesn't matter.
Whatever they went to college for, sometimes not really what they end up doing.
Oh yeah. A lot of people make that misconception that you need college for everything. It's just a piece of paper. Nowadays, you're starting to see that they're eliminating SATs. They're eliminating a lot of things that say you have to require to have a degree in. But it's a very expensive life lesson to a lot of people. But always go about things as a lesson. Every year is a lesson for me.
Yeah, and here's the other thing too. Not everybody can own a business. You know, we all would love to have this great idea put it to paper, and then put it to work, and then come out with something that somebody's going to want. You know, you can watch shows on TV where people have this idea and they have the plan and this is what they're going to, not everybody can do that. So the next best thing you can do besides investing, which is actually another great way to be successful, is that you own a house, because all it is, it's equity. You know, you're building money on top of what you already have. Exactly. Now, at some point you can turn around and sell it and then make a profit on that, you know, take care of the house, you know, build the profit, you know, based on, you know, whatever the house is in the market. Or the other half of it too is that you can keep it for 30 years, you know, have a stable place, sell it, retire, you know, with the money and just keep that going. So not everybody can own a business, but I'm telling you, buying a house is something anybody can do. You just have to put the mind to it.
When I was young, I think when I was young, especially around 18, 19, I didn't know a lot of things about ownership, credit, money, or basically just life in general. Over the years, I learned so much. I think when I started thinking about it, it was really around 21, 22 after college. I always knew how to make the money, but I never knew how to do stuff with the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, now that I remember when I was 19, I think I got a $3,000 check. You know the first thing I bought?
I'm gonna say a car.
A gold chain.
A gold chain.
A gold chain.
Okay.
It was the stupidest decision.
$3,000?
$3,000.
Oh snap! You're like Slick Rick right there.
I'm Jamaican, so we work a lot.
I'm saying you gotta look good.
Yeah. So
$3,000 though, look good. You know, you could have split that in half.
Now, obviously, it was a lot of college kids, so I was rocking with the college kids at the time, but I was overcompensating for what I didn't have. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to teach these kids, you know, don't overcompensate. Who cares? Save money.
Yeah.
Like the sneakers don't have to be $100. The sneaker will be $20, $30. It does not matter. Nah, I don't need Nike checks.
No, not at all. You know, a similar story to that is that when I think I was like maybe 18, and I had my first, tax return. You know, I did my taxes. I had my refund. $600 and something, and you know, for those of you that remember, there used to be a store in Pawtucket called Apex. I remember going to Apex and just buying clothes with that $600 and whatever dollars, just all on clothes, because I didn't have the idea or the fundamental value of what money was and how much I can spend and how much I should save. I just went and spent it all. You know, when I bought my first car, it was because my dad helped me. If he didn't help me, I would have never got a car. You know, and actually I was supposed to pay him back. I never did it, and I think he understood along the way. He ain't paying me back, you know. But it's like if I knew now, you know, back then, back then I knew what I know now, I would have loved to do it all different.
Yeah, I remember 18 years old. I actually lived on my own since 18 and a half. I'll say that. So I was all the way in Rhode Island. All my family's New Jersey and Georgia. I remember the days that I didn't have no money at all.
Yeah,
broke is a joke.
Yep.
Broke is a joke. I remember one time, what happened when I had a 1-bedroom apartment and I couldn't get paid till the next week. Lights was off.
Yeah,
lights was off.
Yeah, I've gone through that.
Oh yeah, I had to figure out what I have to do. Yeah, either eat food or turn on that light.
Yeah. See, I was lucky in the sense where when I was, I think 23, 24, and I think my son was about 3 years old. My dad had an apartment for rent, you know, and I was living with him too, by the way, in his basement. And he said, I have an apartment for rent. And at the time, you know, the mistake for him is that he trusted me.
Oh, yeah.
You know, he said, all right, rent's going to be $500. And then at that point, I said, yeah, I got this. Along the way, I don't know what happened. I ended up owing like 3 months of back rent. You know, luckily he was like, don't worry about it, you know, because he knew at that point I wasn't responsible and I was 24. I should have been a lot more, but that's just the way life goes sometimes.
So I'm going to give you top 5 ways to achieve and be successful in life. So I'm going to give number 1, have enthusiasm. Because at the end of the day, all great performers discover the real secret of greatness, no matter how you do it. So let's say if we're doing a podcast right now, have enthusiasm. You're not succeed. If I say, come in here and say, hey, I don't want to do this damn podcast. No money in it in the beginning. I don't like it. How are you going to succeed? You can't succeed. You got to have enthusiasm regardless of what you do. You got to have enthusiasm.
The other thing, too, is that if you have enthusiasm in something just as simple as just trying to be successful, it could be towards family.
Yeah.
It could be towards work. You know, it's infectious, right?
It is infectious.
Like if you have kids, if you have brothers and sisters, if you're enthusiastic about anything, especially being successful, at that point, it's contagious. It goes on to them, and then that leads to them being successful, or at least otherwise being more enthusiastic about everyday life and how to attack everyday life.
Have enthusiasm.
Love
you
that.
have to
Love
love everything you're doing.
Absolutely. I love that.
You can't have that mindset of, does anyone make a living doing this? That's really the mindset. You got to say, I'm going to make a living doing this. So have that enthusiasm. Number 2, create a winning environment.
Absolutely.
So the biggest misconception, especially as someone coming from the hood, keep in mind, I was born in Patterson, New Jersey. Patterson, New Jersey is hood as it gets. I think right now I see a lot of people dying in Patterson. Every week is a
New Jersey is there's certain parts of New Jersey that I know is bad.
Camden, Patterson, you got the Oranges, things like that. Create a winning environment. Just because you move out of the hood, that doesn't mean that you're a sellout or anything like that. That means you just want to be around successful people to actually get to where you want to go in life. So create a winning environment. If you have 5 people and they all successful, that means you're the 6th successful one day.
Yeah.
Now, if you have 4 people and they're all dummies, that means you're the 5th dummy in the whole group. So think about it like that. If you around success, you will be successful.
It's sometimes there's people around you, and usually the people around you are a product of who you are, or you're a product of who they are. But sometimes there's people that are there to help you to be successful. And there's people that's out there that's there to hurt you. And then maybe not intentionally, but it's just who they are. Sometimes you have to get rid of those people that's around you that's there to hurt you. You can't be successful if everybody around you is pulling you down, or at least otherwise not uplifting you to be the person that you feel like you can be, at least if you're trying to be.
So just be successful. Have people around you.
Yeah, like would you say, like if you were in whatever the worst part of New Jersey, would you still be the person you are today? Because it depends on the environment. It depends on the environment. Sometimes it's not you, D. It's your environment.
God
versus here.
Thank God my mom wanted to leave Patterson, Jersey. I think we went to Clifton, New Jersey, which is most likely probably 50% white, 30% Spanish, probably 10% black, and the rest is other. We left Patterson to go to Clifton, which is a decent school system. And thank God she learned that, because it's not about the school that kind of taught me things. It's just being around other people taught me other things. What I didn't like, what I did like, it did give me that lesson to kind of figure out what I want to be in life. So so just be around a winning team. Yeah,
like me growing up, I grew up in CF. And that's the part where you referenced earlier of the book Smart, Street Smart. And in CF, a lot of the time, if you really wanted to kind of stay above it all, you had to be street smart. Otherwise, it's going to take you. It's not like in the worst part of Rhode Island or anything like that, but at the same time, you still have to be street smart to survive in the way you want to, be who you want to be.
So the funny thing is, I was always friends with everybody. So I always felt like everyone kind of give you a lesson. A lot of people have their own little niche friends. You have the jocks love the jocks, the geeks love the geeks, the conservation clubbists love the conservation clubbists. I like everyone. I kind of learned from every single situation I was in.
Same thing.
People used to say, well, I hang out with certain people. I say, hey, they're just people. At the end of the day, they give you a lesson, and then treat others as you want to be treated, and just keep it moving.
Yeah.
But
see, the good thing with me is that like later on when I was like 14, we moved to Pawtucket. It was different, but the same. But it's like along the way, such a small area, both. So nothing much really changed, versus you. When you move, it was a little bit different.
Yeah. Okay, number 3, challenge the facts. The biggest thing is not to be complacent, or do not be content with the status quo. It's meaning just challenge the process. If you think that you could do something better, just then do it. You don't have to be one of those people who just say, you know what, here's the thing, do it. The reason why a lot of people have rules, because you want to break them sometimes. That's really what it is. Because at the end of the day, you can't be in a situation that you content. I have a friend that that person been in that job for about 20 years. Don't want to do nothing.
Just content.
He didn't challenge himself.
Yep.
He didn't challenge he didn't challenge the status quo. If you want to be a manager, what you got to do? You got to do other things to become a manager. If you want to be a CEO, you got to go through the trenches. You got to go through the steps to become a CEO. But if you're in that situation, you want to stay in one spot, then just keep on following the rules. Keep on not challenging the facts, because a lot of people forget. Most people are psychologically already successful, but they just didn't realize it yet.
It's the enthusiasm that they need.
Oh yeah. A lot of people are successful, they just don't realize it.
Yeah.
How much success they have.
Can, yeah,
Because
exactly.
at the end of the day, because when you start looking at other people's success, you start trying to be in a situation like, well, why he's successful or she's successful and I'm not. You can't be in a situation that you got to be content. Just try to be better than what you are yesterday.
Yeah, and the easiest way to do that is that have a game plan, right?
Yep.
I mean, have an idea of what you want to do. Like, start from where the goal is and how you're going to attain that goal. Like right now, you said that you're planning on buying a house, or you're in the process of buying a house. I'm going to take a quick questionnaire here and ask you this. Did you just look at a house and say, I want to buy that house? No, you had to go through the steps.
Yep.
You had to kind of look at it and say, this is the plan. What am I going to do? So whether it's meeting the bank or applying the loan, open houses and things like that, you went through the trenches, all the steps that you do. So sometimes in work, right, in business, you have to go through that, because you're not going to just get a key to a business, open the door, and then start selling or making money. You have to go through the steps to eventually get to where you want to be, right?
That's what it is. So the next one, achieve happiness from being and becoming, not acquiring and possessing, which a lot of people have that problem. Buying a big house, go back to the house now, buying $1 million house does not mean you're successful.
No.
That just means that you got a big ass house. That's really what it means. But buying a house that you like in your own heart or in your mind that you like, whether it's $100,000 or $1 million, that's when you know you got that happiness. I would say me being successful or anyone being successful is your happiness. Because a lot of people, if you're gonna notice that a lot of people have millionaires depressed, it's because they're not happy.
Yeah, like what is it, like 3 years ago, maybe 2 years ago, Kate Spade, right? Didn't she commit suicide?
One of the most successful ones.
I think
was
two,
3 years ago.
Yeah, and she was worth over $2 billion, right?
Very successful.
Commit suicide.
Money isn't everything, but not having it is.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, be happy. No possession or acquiring anything is going to keep you happy. Just because you have a big house, that doesn't mean you're happy.
No, it doesn't. Not at all.
So it's one thing. A lot of people build fences so that a lot of things from outside the fence don't come in the fence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That means a lot of people have a lot of baggage, a lot of unhappiness. Yeah. So a lot of people build fences to kind of gate that unhappiness and put it in one's soul.
Yeah, exactly. Just put it like in a locker. Just lock it up, and just keep it there. Yeah.
So lock it up. Don't even talk nothing about it. But that doesn't mean you're happy.
No,
that doesn't mean you have. That doesn't mean you're successful. Now it's all about do not possess or acquire things that make you you happy.
What you could do, just the way I kind of, how I live my life, is that you want to kind of do some exercise, and I don't mean like doing push-ups and lifts. I'm talking about have a routine, have a certain goal throughout the day. Here's the other thing too, and I think this is something that doesn't get talked about a lot, is that there's physical exercise, but there's also mental exercise.
Yep.
Whether it's just give time to yourself, hey, just sit back, listen to some music, read a book, whatever it may be, read the newspaper, news, magazine, whatever it is. Like, have a routine, but furthermore, do some mental exercise. Because at that point, like you said, D, is that it doesn't allow you to just keep things bottled in. It allows you to kind of open yourself. So I'm going to try yoga. I'm going to try that.
You try a little yoga?
Yeah, I've tried that because I think that can, at least physically get me more energetic throughout the day.
Well, just become happy. And the last one, become aware of your limitless potential. Don't give up. That's very simple.
Nope.
If you're not reaching your goal, don't give up. So you will be surprised how others perceive you, but just don't give up. People are already thinking you're successful. Some people out there already think you're successful. That doesn't mean you say, if someone say you're successful, you give up.
Nah.
Try to be the best you can be. Most people seem governed by the beliefs which keep them bound to life. That's their problem.
Yeah, it's one of the best quotes I ever heard was, whether you think you can or you can't, you're right.
Exactly.
So however you feel, you're right. So if you have that positive demeanor, that positive outlook, and otherwise you feel like you're successful, then you're right.
You're right.
Otherwise, if you're looking at it like I'm not, then you're right again. So then you have to change it around, flip it, and then at that point become a new person. Like success begets success.
Yeah.
It's contagious, as I said earlier. It's something that you can kind of almost like follow through to somebody else and have them be successful. And nowadays I think the this is probably one of the most important times to have that positive mindset, to be able to deal with a lot of negativity out there.
Oh, yeah. So that's my 2 cents on how to be successful. I want to go into your segment, the OU segment. We got a fellas vibe that we want to kind of go with. Mm-hmm. So let's just get it rocking.
Hashtags Fellas 5.
Welcome to another edition of the Fellas 5. Oh, this is gonna be great. I'm gonna like this one. The top 5 names of the week, and why are they the names of the week? Let's get it. Number 5, Kelly Osbourne. You remember Kelly, right? Back in the 2000s, part of the Osbourne, somewhat the creepiest family since the Addams family, number 1 family before the Kardashians, with Ozzy, all of them, and Kelly was the lovable daughter, right? Well, why is she on the news? She just said she lost 85 pounds. Congratulations, Kelly. Hot damn, 85 pounds. I think maybe 2 years ago, I think she kind of changed her life around. She was off the alcohol. She spent some time in rehab, and she said, I'm changing my lifestyle. I'm gonna start eating some plant-based food. I'm gonna exercise more. I'm just gonna be a better person. I commend you for that, Kelly. Congratulations. 85 pounds. Can you believe that? So in this pandemic, I've been gaining weight. She's been losing weight. My 9-year-old, check this out. My 9-year-old, he's 72 pounds. She lost 85. 85. Wow, Kelly. Come out with a book. Tell me how to do that. Maybe 20 or 30. I could do that. But wow, 85 pounds. Once again, hot damn. Congratulations, Kelly. That was number 5. Number 4, Iron Mike Tyson. So, has there ever been a more controversial sports athlete in the history of sports than Mike Tyson? Since his early childhood and going through the ranks, having that great 10-round bout with Buster Douglas, losing. He could have took it in the 8th round, but he ended up losing. But that was the first versus, right? That was the first one. Then you fast forward, maybe 2 years later, then it was Mike Tyson versus the law, right? He went to jail. Spent, I think, 3 years in jail behind bars, and, we know what he did. And he came out a changed man. He came out, then it was Mike Tyson versus Peter McNeely. I remember that fight. I remember it was on Fox. It was Saturday night. I was ready. It wasn't on pay-per-view. McNeely left that corner, charged at Mike. Mike, quick right hook. A minute and 30 seconds later, Peter was down, and that wasn't really a verse. That was just annihilation, And then 1996, Tyson versus Holyfield, twice, right? Twice. We know Holyfield, the headbutts. I saw some of those, but it was accidental. We know that. But Tyson didn't care, and Tyson went for the ear. Wow. I'm not feeling that, Tyson. Then my favorite versus was Tyson versus Lennox Lewis. What a fight for Lennox. Anyway, Tyson, not the same guy. But let's fast forward. 2020, Tyson versus the Shark. Did you guys check that out? That was last Sunday night on Discovery. Shark Week, all the different sharks, and we know about Jaws and all of that. Well, it was Tyson versus the Shark. How does that go? Do you jump in there with boxing gloves? Do you attack the shark? Well, if you didn't watch the episode, I tell you, all it was Tyson preparing, throwing up, getting ready to jump in the water just so he can, put to sleep a shark. And I'm happy he didn't get bit over there, because we need Tyson. As much controversy he has, he's entertaining. But that was good. That was number 4. Number 3 on the Fellas 5, probably my favorite right now, is the NBA. So we talked about the pandemic, the coming back and everything like that. We talked about kind of some of the things that's happened in MLB. What's going on in NFL? I commend you, the NBA. The NBA has just completed its 8-game postseason bubble, formula or format rather. Not one person has been, at least not reported, to have the COVID-19. Great job, NBA. They have a strategy. They had a game plan. They stuck to it. By the way, Lou Williams, he was a part of some of that controversy, but it didn't affect the NBA. NBA kept on moving. People kept on liking it. What great matches we're going to see. The playoffs is about to start. I'm excited. Portland just came in. They beat Memphis yesterday. You have, I guess you can say it's going to be a tough matchup between the Lakers and Portland. What's going on in the East? You got Milwaukee. Is Giannis going to play? I heard he's suspended, but we'll see what happens. I hope my Magic can take him, And we know about Batman and Robin, Kawhi and PG. Who's Batman? Who's Robin? Is it Kawhi? Is it still Kawhi? We'll find out. NBA, number 3 on that fella's 5. Congratulations. Oh, actually, let me bring this. This is actually, I think, the most important part that I think we should actually look into. And I think it was what the commissioner, Adam Silver, how he embraced how he embraced the idea of activism, for his players. How he was able to allow the players to show social justice by showing America that we're all going to kneel down because a change is needed. I love the way the coaches held hands together, black coaches with the white coaches, the players kneeling. I like the names on the back, such great names, or at least otherwise messages, for social injustice that we saw out there. Enough, was one of them. What's my name? And it goes on and on. And you have some players that decided not to do it. I'm not mad at you, LeBron. It doesn't matter. But at the same time, I'm really happy at what they did. It shows how a league, unlike the NFL, a league can come together with the commissioner, the owners, the players, and show what's really important in this country. Let's get it. Number 2, Damian Lillard. We know what he can do. We definitely saw it the other day. We saw it on Tuesday. I think we saw it on Thursday, and we saw it on Saturday. So the first thing is the week started with him getting to beefs, right? Now, he's had a lot of different beefs over the years. There was the one against Marvin Bagley. That was a great diss track he came out with. He said a couple things about Shaq. Now he just started beef with Skip Bayless, Patrick Beverly, PG-13. It just goes on. But when it comes down to it, when it's time for the dude to show up and hit them 35-footers, Dame is all about that money because he made it. And then what did he do at the top of that? He brought his team to now face, like Jay-Z said it best, right? What is it? Out of the frying pan into the fire. So, we'll see what happened with the Lakers. But what a great comeback by Portland Trail Blazers. A side note. I said Batman and Robin. Is Dame and CJ McCollum, are they now part of the Batman and Robin list? Where, LeBron and Anthony Davis, are they part of that list now? Russell Hart, I don't know. We'll find out. And then number one on the fellas 5, my boy D said it to me, said it today, as a matter of fact. And I thought it was a great intro to start off with the number 5. He said that there's 2 type of people in this world. There's doers and there's procrastinators. And my friends, Kamala, I pronounced it correctly. Kamala Harris is a doer. It doesn't matter what you put in front of her. She's done it all. At least for the research I've done, it looks like she just keeps on doing. One of the first, if I'm not mistaken, African-American woman to be the district attorney in California, the first African-American attorney general in the state of California, and then now she's going to be the vice presidential running mate for Joe Biden, in this upcoming campaign, the 2020 election, representing the Democratic Party. I also said at least a couple episodes ago that I wasn't a fan of Trump. And it doesn't seem like Kamala is a fan of Trump. You can hear some of the things she said about him coming up to the at least the campaign and going forward to that. There's going to be a great debate this October 3rd, October 4th in Salt Lake City against Pence. I'm looking forward to seeing that. And here's the thing. I didn't know much of her. And I'm going to admit, I didn't know much of her. I follow politics a little bit. I didn't know much of her, but my eyes are pressed. I'm seeing what's going to happen. I love what she's doing and what she's done in the state of California. Here's my favorite part of for people that may not know who she is and what she's about, as you guys kind of watch this debate and the reform and everything that she's going to speak about, is that so I'm a big Zodiac fan. I'm a Scorpio. She's a Libra, and I thought this was fitting when I looked this up, and it said the strengths of a Libra, and then tell me if this does not otherwise identify who she is, right? So the strengths: cooperative, diplomatic, gracious, fair-minded and social. Does not speak to her, right? And then here's what Libras don't like. They don't like violence. They don't like injustice. They don't like loudmouths. And we know who that represents, do we not? So that was it. The Fellas 5, the top 5 names of the week. Tell me what you think. Reach out to me on IG, Twitter. You can even email me at fellascorner@gmail.com. Let's go.
Yeah, congratulations, Kamala Harris. That's a good little nomination. I think that's a good pick.
Yeah,
I think it's a good pick.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I think she
They
did
raised
change
a lot of money too.
Yeah, she changed her
first-
ways. I think in the beginning she used to lock a lot of our black people up.
It's funny you say that because I think she was against like one type of like law that was being passed.
The body cam. She was against that one.
Yeah, but the one I was thinking of was that she wanted where the 3 strikes. If you were juvenile, that was like 14, you were gonna get tried as an adult. You know, so as opposed to kind of give them, you know, a second or third chance. But she said 14 and older, you're getting tried as an adult. You know?
Sometimes that's what worries me about former district attorneys becoming president and stuff, because they still have that mindset to prosecute.
To prosecute,
So-
that's right. Yeah.
So at first I was like, I was a little ahead of it, but the problem is you got someone in office that's worse. So
Yeah.
So a lot of people, that's how America works right now. You have such a bad president right now that we're overlooking all the others.
Yeah, you're looking at what's the lesser of the evils in a way, right?
Yeah, so
You know?
but it's a good pick. He had no choice but to get someone of color. And they was thinking about
And
aggression.
she's very
at first.
qualified.
She's
for
very
it, too.
qualified. She's very
You know,
qualified.
So she and now you know it's funny. I first remembered her name last year when she actually put her name into the ballot to run
Oh yeah,
for
didn't
president
make it.
last year, and she then months 5-6 months later she then rescinded her name from the ballot based on funding.
Yeah, they wanted Biden. Yeah, they old white guy.
So she tried to be president, but now she's gonna try to be vice president.
Imagine if when Michelle Obama want to do it, a lot of people have
That'd be
that
great.
grumbling.
Oh,
I don't think you can make Michelle Obama vice president.
so-
You got to be a president for
so
that
do you
one.
think it's going to be kind of like that Bill Hillary thing where Bill kind of groomed
Yeah.
Hillary? You
Yeah.
think Obama will kind of groom Michelle?
I think it'll be better because I think Michelle will win
Yeah,
instead
yeah,
of Hillary.
yeah,
'Cause,
yeah.
But Trump, we can't have another 4 years of Trump.
All Michelle can't do is get involved in any email type
Yeah.
of,
not
controversy.
another 4 years of Trump.
No, not at all. Not at all.
A lot of people, I was arguing with someone the other day. A lot of people forgot that we had a kind of a stimulus package when 9/11 hit too.
I remember that. That was 800 maybe. I remember that.
It was, and then
1,000?
people try to say he's the first one who did it. Like, no, come on.
No,
man.
no. I remember that
It's
stimulus
a very
'cause-
known tactic, and the reason why they do it so close to the election because they want those votes.
Of course.
Right? You see them taking off mailboxes. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
He's trying to take out mailboxes.
Yeah, the controversy, at least otherwise, like the
Yeah.
conflict with the post office, with the millions of ballots that need to be mailed out. I think the post office or the USPS is requesting or otherwise demanding
Yeah.
5.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's million or is it.
Yeah, I don't know
something
what
like
they're
that
doing,
for it.
but that was a good pick. I think it's going to be a good little election. Obviously, you can't always say this. Do not try to bring down someone because it's a person of color.
Yeah.
Don't bring them down because it's a person of color. There's going to be a lot of crazy campaigns out there, and no matter what you say, they are the lesser of the two evils.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
They are the lesser of two evils. If you was really want the better, you had Bernie Sanders that was there.
Yeah.
You had Elizabeth Warren,
yeah.
and then
Out
you
of
did
Massachusetts.
not even give him an eye because you wanted that guy Uncle Joe on there. Because
Yeah.
I don't like Uncle Joe either.
Yeah.
But I don't like. I'd rather him than Trump.
That's the feeling I'm getting too, is that a lot of people don't like Joe. I'm not a fan of Joe directly.
Yeah.
You know, it's more indirect based on him, running with Obama. But at the same time, it's just kind of like, Joe is less evil than, or either was more qualified since the least qualified one is in office now.
So
Joe is definitely more qualified.
yeah, I tell you, they trying to say he said that Joe Biden's gonna make us become a laughingstock of America. I think it's too late for that. I think it's too late. 4 years with Apprentice
You can't
show host over
You can't
here.
get worse, right?
Can't get worse. You can't get worse. So I heard that somebody have a question for Ask D segment.
Yeah. So D. So as we were talking about the other day, we had a couple emails, and I thought this would be you agreed this would be a great idea to read them on air.
Yeah.
In a new segment we have called Ask D. So anybody has questions, DM us, email us, Ask D, and D will be happy.
Fellas Corners Podcast on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and you could contact us over there.
And
So what's the question?
Happy to answer. All right. So first question is from Kevin in Providence, and it goes, "Hey fellas, I'm really enjoying the show, especially the show with Snoop versus DMX episode. I have a question. Back in the day, New York and Cali had all the hottest hip hop artists. Today, what area or areas has the best artist?"
Ooh. So New York had a little drought for about good 8 years. And it was a tough time for New York because they made a lot of the South came up. So you had the South.
You're talking about like New Limit,
Yeah.
No Limit, and
No. That's
Cowboys?
old. That's old. I'm talking about now. The South, like if you think about it, you have Houston. You got the Travis Scott in Houston. Had a lot of Miami boys. North Carolina's in there too. You have a couple of West Coast as well, but New York was kind of struggling at the time. So now I think it's coming back up. New York is definitely coming back up, but it's still some of the South. They have that sound right now. You got even Canadian boys coming back up. There's only like one or two Canadians, but I still think that New York and the East still have a good stronghold in the hip hop realm. It's just music is changing now, so it's all different. So I think South is still having with that sound. New York is coming back up because you have a lot of rappers in New York that sound almost like the Southern rappers, but they're a lot of New York rappers. You know what I really want to come back? The West Coast rapper, because there's not that much West Coast rappers that are actually on there. They have a lot of Midwest rappers, but I think it's still going to always be East or the South at the moment. I don't think no one's going to really change it. It's not going to be hardcore rap anymore. It's going to be more of a singy type rap, but I think New York and the South still have a stranglehold in the whole hip hop community. Now, because it's becoming popular. It used to be hardcore rap and whatever rap, drug dealing rap. Now it's just popular. You got the Houston, you got the Meg Thee Stallion, the Cardi B's. You have the Migos, you have the Drakes of Canada, you have the A$AP Ferg, you have the Travis Scotts, you got J. Cole with North Carolina J. Cole. Yeah, K-Dot is probably the only one in the West that people really want to listen to at the moment. But it's becoming popular. So it's going to be everywhere. It's becoming very popular. I remember when people used to think pop was all Katy Perry's of the world or the Taylor Swift. Yeah. Now pop is hip-hop. And they can't argue about it because we're the number one genre at the moment. It's not country anymore. It's not rock anymore. It's hip-hop. So you're going to always have the South and the New York is kind of have a stranglehold, and then you have a sprinkle there of a Canada, or you have a sprinkle of West Coast, but not too many West Coast. But it's New York and East. Definitely New York and East on there.
Thank you, Kevin, for the question. Next question. This is from a female. It's from Stacy in Maryland. Yo, we're out in Maryland.
Maryland.
Yeah, you gotta love that. All right, so it says, "Hey, Fellas Corner, really been enjoying the show. I have a question for y'all. I've been with my man for 5 years, and I feel like he's a lot more distant. What advice can you give me to spark our relationship from a male's point of view to keep him happy? Thank you."
Well, the question, I don't even think you could keep anyone happy at the end of the day. When someone wants to be with you, they make sure they're not distant. So it's either they're cheating or they don't want to be with you anymore. So if someone's distant, that they're being distant for a reason. It's that old saying, if you're distant now, that means you're going to be distant later. So it's either they don't want. It's kind of hard to get that spark. I think that probably the easiest way to do it is have that conversation, the tough conversation. Hey, do you still love me? Do you want to be in this relationship still? Sometimes it's tough if you have kids, because sometimes you got to make that decision. Now you have to be on your own. So if he's distant, it's not your fault. Most likely, it's going to be a situation that he either feel that the relationship is going nowhere. He's not in a committed relationship, and his mindset is not really committed to you at the moment, or just plain old, it's over. So don't try to make a person happy on your own soul. Because at the end of the day, you can't make anyone happy. You got to make yourself happy. That goes back to your own happiness. Because once you're trying to take part of your soul to make someone else happy, it always going to lead to disaster. I would never get to that situation because I did it before. I was trying to make someone happy. I did this. I got rid of some of the stuff that I used to do in situations that I never did before. I try to overcompensate on a lot of things, and it just don't work because you never can make someone happy. So if that person's distant, let them be distant. Then you become distant. And if it's worth it, they'll try to get you back. If it's not, move on. There's a lot of fishes in the sea. A lot of fishes in the sea. It's going to take a long time to catch one. That's why it's called fishing. You know how long it is to fish for a nice little big catch? Take hours. So think of hours of days, months, years. Don't rush into a relationship because you got to love yourself before you love anyone else anyway. And if that person don't love you, do not try to. And then I know it's kind of hard because a lot of people say, I know I love him, I love her, and I want to make this work. But it's a two-way street. Both of you got to make it work for it to work. So don't rush into a relationship. If he's distant, let him go.
Thank you, Stacy, for the question. Great answer to that. I hope she's happy and they answered the question. And I love the way you said that, is that keep and make sure you're happy. Don't give up or sacrifice your happiness for somebody else. But thank you, Stacy, for the question. Keep the questions coming. Every week we'll pick a few questions and we'll read on air and we'll ask D.
Yeah, ask me any question. I always say there's a lot of people. I'm the middle child. And when the cousins and the brothers and sisters have a question, they always come to me. I've been through a lot in my time since 18 years old, and you'd be surprised with the things I've been through with certain things. But I always try to answer all the questions. If you ask a question, I always answer it. But, nothing less. So, one thing, you listen to the new Drake song?
No, I heard a snippet on it on TV. And it's funny, believe this or not, I'm not going to lie. I actually went and subscribed to Apple Music so I can so I subscribe. I'm paying the $10 so I can actually. Is that a promotion? Are we gonna get sponsor money?
Nah, they ain't gonna no sponsor money.
Come on,
they're gonna look at us like, who the hell is these mofos?
All right, but so I can listen to the album. I heard it on, but it hasn't been out there. They just played a little preview on TV.
Yeah,
I didn't see it on Apple Music.
I'm gonna play 10 seconds. Watch.
It's on Apple Music now.
That is, I'm on spot. Look, you hear that?
Sometimes we laugh and sometimes we cry, but I guess you know now.
All right, we can't play no more because
it was it Breakfast Club? I think I heard it. And I was like, I got to listen to the whole thing, but it wasn't on Apple Music.
Baby.
Yeah, it's a good song. You gotta listen to the song. It's a good song.
The intro too.
Yeah, that was the intro. It was a good little catchy song. All right,
who else was on the track? Didn't he?
Lil Durk.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
That mean the album coming out pretty soon.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you gotta be.
I'm paying $10, so I can.
Right.
Yeah.
There's gotta be an album coming out pretty soon. Like, there's no way it's not gonna be an album with that.
You think he did it just in time for his Toronto Raptors to be motivated on their quest for the second championship?
Well, I'm waiting
because he is the ambassador, right?
Yeah, he is ambassador. I doubted that. I doubt that he's doing it for the Toronto Raptors, but
the timing couldn't have been any better.
Usually the timing, you don't notice that a lot of the PE sneakers come out this time because the playoffs.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm waiting for Kawhi. Kawhi's coming out in fall. The Kawhi sneakers.
So it's been a year since the last one, right?
Yeah,
it's been a year,
and it was on his playoff run.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, when and then right after that's when he had that whole lawsuit against with Nike versus the claw logo.
Yeah.
So that sounds about right because I think it was right after it was the off season that he wanted to trademark the logo or take the logo, I guess, because he said he drew it first.
They started naming like all the NBA teams. What do you think about Dame Lillard?
So Dame Lillard is obviously MVP, right? We can agree on that. He's MVP of the bubble. I know Devin Booker. He played hard. He played his ass off to get at least Phoenix into that playing game, but fell short. Eight wins in a row. You can't ask for anything better, right? You can't, right? DeAndre Ayton finally showed why he was the number one draft pick. So Booker number 2. MVP Lillard. So you got two first teams right there. But I guess the problem is that we're not looking at just the bubble. We're also looking at the first half of the season too, right?
Yeah. But they're doing the bubble. They're doing the bubble
only.
Yeah,
okay.
But it's gonna be Giannis for the whole season. Gonna be Giannis.
Well, Giannis not the bubble though, because Giannis
Yeah.
played I think 2 or 3
Yeah,
games.
they're
in the
not going to
bubble.
be the bubble,
So
but the
he's-
whole season is going to be Giannis for MVP.
Yeah, most likely.
Yeah,
most
the
likely.
bubble really don't
LeBron
matter.
can come close, but I think it's
Yeah.
Giannis. Giannis is gonna win it all.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, Lillard, I like Lillard, but
Mm-hmm.
these 8 games, what happened to the other games? Like he wasn't really dominating in the other games. Now these 8 games, yeah, he was dominating, but it might be a little. I think it'll go to Game 6 with Lakers, and they're gonna lose. That's what I think.
A lot of like the analysts or former NBA players are all saying about 6 or 7. I don't see a 7. I definitely don't.
I don't see
I
a
think it's
7.
definitely a 6. The problem with Portland, they don't really play defense to try to stop AD and LeBron.
Yep.
And who knows if Rondo will come back. Not that it's going to matter because he's not really a scorer, but he is a facilitator. So he can get the ball to who can score, and Portland can't do defense on those guys.
They
So
can't play defense.
I don't
whatsoever.
see Portland. I don't see an upset at all.
I don't see
know
an
if you
upset
do.
whatsoever. Just like I don't see an upset with Dallas and Clippers either. I think that's gonna be
not at all. You know, the funny thing about that game is that probably the third best play. I mean, you can probably argue with Kawhi is Doncic, right? So I think it's Booker.
Third youngest best player.
Yeah. So, but I'm saying for this bubble, I think Doncic was probably the third best player in this bubble. You know, you can argue.
It was definitely Lillard, Booker, and Doncic.
Yes.
And then it was Kawhi probably like 5th or 6th.
Yeah,
He wasn't
exactly.
like the best because Carol LeVert was really
Yeah.
balling out of control.
That's right. Yeah, for
who else you had?
Brooklyn. Yeah.
Yeah, but other than that, I don't think it's gonna be an upset.
But it's funny, those 3 names we just said, all 3 names, other than Booker, because Booker's not in the play, all of them are probably not going to go to the second round.
Probably.
So it really comes down to the team. And I think overall, and I know we're going to go back and forth on it, I think Lakers are the best overall team. Clippers arguably may be the best, may have the best bench. And I think that's where that if they were to go against the Lakers, that's where they could win. But we won't find out.
We won't
till
find
the
out till then.
Western
'Cause
Conference
who
final.
knows? There might be don't be surprised if someone get upset.
Yeah.
So I'm the ones I like. I love the first round. I don't really care about the 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7. It's that 4 versus 5. That's always been the great round.
So the 4 versus 5, which is the best 4 versus 5 right now?
It
So
gotta be Thunder versus Rockets.
yeah, I was looking at Houston or OKC
Yep. Thunder.
versus Miami, Indiana.
I don't know. Warren was another one who was great in the bubble right now. I just don't think
Yeah,
Miami
but-
have a lot of firepower. They shoot a lot. They shoot a lot.
One of the players that got injured. Was it?
Yeah, but he got injured in the beginning. TJ Warren kind of filled that void.
Yeah, no, I'm saying for Miami. Was it? One of the players was injured the other day. I think it was like Friday he got hurt.
I
So
don't
Miami's down a starter.
But at the end of the day, that's gonna be a one, and it's really the semifinals. That's really the ones I want to watch.
Yeah, how poetic is it that you have OKC against Houston, where you have Russell Westbrook playing his whole career in OKC, then going to Houston only to play OKC, almost kind of like to say, like, I took you guys for the last 9 years, I think, right?
Yep.
9 years to the playoffs. I leave, and you guys are right there in the playoffs with
Because a lot of people underestimate Chris Paul.
Mm-hmm.
He's a Hall of Famer, future Hall of Famer, one of the
right.
best point guards we've ever seen in our life.
absolutely.
We can't really put no championships on his label because he really did try. He just obviously 2 years ago when he was in Houston, he could have got that championship. But injuries sometimes will plague a lot of players,
Yeah.
But he's phenomenal.
And then Harden, a former Thunder as well, has another chance.
Yeah.
Like, D, let me ask, in your opinion, is he probably in the playoff the most overrated player when it comes to the playoff, being that high end offensive player, shooting to the hole.
I
He
think
can even pass.
I think he's overrated, but the problem is he chokes in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So like he has all this like props and everything. As soon as the playoff starts, we feel like he's gonna show up, and he never really shows up.
Because that last game with Golden State when they could have went to the championship,
Nope, didn't do it.
they literally was shooting. I think at the time they missed like 39
Yeah,
threes.
right at the end.
Like, come on,
Yeah,
like
right
that's
at the end.
ridiculous. But
So who's taking that then?
I have a feeling because Westbrook is injured. I have a feeling OKC will win that because Westbrook injured right now. I don't think he's gonna play the first 3 games, but he's injured. So it's gonna definitely. I feel like it's gonna be OKC.
Okay.
But the next round is going to be a tough one because obviously those are the ones that we have to really worry about. Because they have, let's say OKC. OKC could give LA Lakers an L, and And I don't know, Denver
No,
Nuggets.
I don't think so. I don't think it's
so? But Denver Nuggets,
OKC?
Denver Nuggets is a tough matchup.
Denver Nuggets for sure.
Although
Yeah.
Clippers
Denver
never
against
lose
Lakers?
to Denver Nuggets. You know, Clifford never lost to Denver Nuggets in the first. Was it? They lost once actually. Did they lose once? They lost once
You talking about last year?
this year. They
Oh,
lost
you talking
once.
in the bubble? I thought you said playoffs.
Not in the bubbles in the whole year. The bubble's only 8 games.
Oh,
they only
yeah.
won. They only lost once.
Yeah.
They played really well with them.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you know, Kawhi Leonard did average 28 points in the bubble.
Yeah.
So a lot of people forget that he really was good in the bubble. He was efficient and good. And Paul
Very
George
efficient.
is look like he's very healthy right now.
Mm-hmm.
So who knows? But it's gonna be a good NBA season.
The game I'm excited to watch. I mean, I like the Portland Lakers game, but the game I'm excited to watch is the Celtics. You know, against minus Ben Simmons at this point, but Celtics look good.
They do.
Celtics looks
They're
really good. You know, they have
It's just
all the
that
young players.
They're so young, and sometimes they always disappoint you when it comes to certain things.
Yeah.
I think
Hayward
Milwaukee's
is not that young. I think he's like 29.
Yeah, but I think Milwaukee is the
Marcus Smart, I think, is also 30.
Yeah, but still, you got the most important player. Tatum and Brown is really the most important, and then obviously you
What's
have
going on with Kimba? I
he always
don't know.
injured. He's another one who's injured. Hayward don't play a lick of defense. It's gonna be tough to beat Milwaukee.
It's the first one. So I guess we agree that they're gonna beat Philly, no problem.
Oh, yeah.
Joel Embiid is
But
not
they
gonna.
don't have Ben
Tobias
Simmons.
Harris is not gonna make the difference of what Ben Simmons was bringing to
Yep.
the table. Horford, yeah, I think episode 2. I think you said no, you didn't really like Horford.
I don't like Horford.
Yeah, so you don't. So at least we can agree Celtics are taking it.
Taking that one. That's an easy one.
So
I think
the
that's easy.
only team Celtics can't take is Milwaukee.
Milwaukee. Probably Miami have a hot streak. Sometime they'll
I said
creep
Miami's
up on
popcorn
you.
muscle.
Yeah,
I said that.
they creep up on you sometime. But in a 7-game series, I don't know if they can win. But it's a hit or miss. The question is, I want someone to beat Milwaukee because I really don't feel like that's a great team.
Yeah, maybe my Magic could do it.
Yeah.
Well, they lost Jonathan Isaac.
That's not
Aaron
happening.
Gordon is.
That's not happening.
It's not happening. I know.
Next time, if he would have just.
They need Shaq and Anthony Hardaway or Penny Hardaway right now.
He need more than that. He need probably. You need that whole team from back in the day.
Oh yeah, we need Dwight too in the mix.
Yeah. You need the
So
whole
we need
team.
Dwight, Shaq, and Penny all ready to go.
Don't
By the way,
sleep.
Tracy McGrady was on the team too.
Yeah.
And
Don't
Tracy
sleep on Toronto Raptors though. Don't sleep on Toronto. That's all I say. Don't sleep on those guys.
Here's the thing with Toronto, and this is probably like in that OKC Houston where you can kind of flip a coin almost. It can go either way, almost either way. Is that Brooklyn? I know they don't have Kyrie, Durant. I get that, but could you look at a team that really has no superstar to be that good? Isn't that Brooklyn right now? Every team right now has a superstar, at least an all-star at one point. Right?
Gerald
Was he an
Levert
all-star?
is
Was he
no,
all-star?
he's not all-star,
Yeah,
but
that's
he is
right.
balling. I thought Dinwiddie was an all-star.
No. What's funny about it? It's funny. I was about to bring him up. Does he still have the COVID? I mean, it should be over at this point, but they haven't released that he's coming back to the team. It's been way over 14 days since he caught the virus.
Yeah, I don't know.
But no, he wasn't an all-star either. Though.
He was an all-star.
He wasn't an all-star either.
That's gonna be a scary team next year.
Yeah.
Next year is gonna be a scary team. So yeah, I don't know.
Well, that should be a good matchup because you got Toronto.
Yep.
Trying to repeat with the coach of the year. That should be, I would think, in my opinion, probably the toughest. I think that's going to go to Game 7.
Yeah, it will.
That's the Game 7, I think.
I think so. I think so too. So
like, if otherwise, the Denver, Utah.
Denver is a hit or miss, but they have a lot of talent. And that kid Porter Jr.
Yeah, Michael Porter Jr.
If he start going crazy on everybody,
absolutely, yeah.
that's gonna be a tough matchup. But Utah, no, I don't
Jamal
think Utah.
Murray, he scored 50 points. I think the last game.
I just don't think Utah has enough firepower for anyone. They used to play good defense. I still don't think they play good defense. But they don't. I don't think they have enough.
The good
firepower.
defense, I think it really lies just with Rudy Gobert. I think
Yeah.
he's the guy that's really the defensive guy, the juggernaut per se. That he's the one that you can't go down low. So at that point, all you have to do is shoot, and then whatever teams they're playing against, if they're not shooting, that's when you're getting rebounds, and then Utah's going the other way.
Yeah.
Besides him, Mitchell, obviously he's an all-star. Who else could step up? I think for that.
I don't know. That's a good question.
So I think Utah, Denver. I think Denver takes that one.
Yeah, Denver takes that one.
I mean, it really, really gets interesting once, like you said, you get into that second round or even the Western Conference. Because we really want to get down to really 2 teams matchups on each side, right? We want the Lakers against the Clippers. That's the matchup. right? Doesn't matter what Houston does. If OKC goes to the second round, it doesn't matter. What matters is Lakers, Clippers. Then on the East, it's Milwaukee, Boston.
Yeah.
The Celtics,
Yeah.
the Bucks. That's the matchup. And then when you get to the finals, now, do you agree? As I think, whoever wins between the Clippers and the Lakers wins the whole thing.
Oh yeah,
So
definitely.
Milwaukee's not going to.
Although I feel like Milwaukee.
because Milwaukee was the preseason.
Yeah.
Milwaukee was a team that everybody that's in the game or whatever predicted would win the championship.
They got to prove it to me. Someone other than Giannis. And they, as I said before, the way they stopped
Middleton?
Giannis.
No.
Chris Middleton, no. The only way to stop Giannis is don't make him drive. He can't shoot still. Yeah, I know a lot of people say, "Oh, he's up and shooting." He still can't shoot. He still can't shoot.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people, they're gonna keep on saying, "Oh, his field goal." If you're horrible at shooting before,
Yeah.
you got to shoot like three or more.
You're not better now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you're not better
You're
now.
not Kawhi. You're
No,
not
no.
Kawhi. You're not even LeBron. LeBron can't really shoot, but he's effective. So until he prove it to me,
Yeah.
it's not gonna happen.
Clutch too at times.
Exactly.
You gotta give
You think
LeBron.
I'm
He's-
worried about Giannis being clutch?
Nah,
Have you watched all the games this year? A lot of people leave him open. A lot of people leave him open.
And it looks awkward too.
Yeah,
like
it does.
that shot, it's just
Remember,
that awkward.
think of big-
not a Markelle Fultz awkward. Not
Who's the
that
most
level,
awkward
but-
shot? Rick Hamilton?
of all time?
Yeah, Richard Hamilton.
Well, of all time, do you remember Bo Outlaw back in the day?
Sure. Marcus Camby?
Camby had one. There was one of the Barrys. Remember John Barry
yeah.
and Brent Barry?
Yeah,
I forgot
yeah.
which one. They had a kind of a weird type of shot. Markelle Fultz.
Markelle Fultz.
Right now-
He can't shoot, though.
No,
He got
but
better,
it's-
right?
He's got better, but it's and I love the player. He plays for my team, but I feel like sometimes he just gets lucky.
Yeah,
like it
yeah.
just comes out like,
But
it went in.
Marcus Camby had
Yeah.
a weird shot.
Yeah, his shot was a center shot.
Yeah, it was so slow.
Because when he was playing for UMass, I don't think he beyond free throw line he never really
Shoot
Yeah. So when he goes to NBA, he kind of had to develop it a little bit. I think he just was a guy kind of like Shaq. You know how Shaq changed his free throw shots like 8 times.
What
in his
about
career?
you know who it was? Tajon Prince.
Tajon Prince. That's a good one for Detroit.
Yeah, both of them, Rick Hamilton
yeah.
and Tajon Prince. Well, they were
Rick
hard.
Hamilton, he had that two-hand, kind of like Steph Curry.
Yeah.
That two-hand shot, but Steph just makes it look pretty.
Yeah.
But you're right. Richard Hamilton, he had that like just shoot it with two hands. Did you know this? Richard Hamilton actually was not coach, but mentored by Michael Jordan with the
remember
Wizards.
He was in
with
the
the
Wizards.
Wizards, yeah. So
I think he was really good in UConn too. He was really
he was good in
with
UConn,
Calhoun and all of them.
but he didn't really blow up till after he went to Detroit. But it's kind of like almost like all the years with Jordan with
Chauncey
the Wizards.
Billups was the man in Detroit.
Chauncey was
Yeah,
great.
Yeah.
He had a great shot. There was another shooter I was just thinking of
It
too
was
that
a
had
lot
a
of ugly
ugly,
ugly shot.
Yeah, Kyle Korver had a sweet shot. Right, his was just sweet. Right, his was just a nice flow. But it's like one of those things where like nowadays, if you can't shoot, you can't go nowhere. And I think Giannis, he's just putting up the best overall look. Right, he's not trying to be that down low type player. He wants to be an all around player and trying to shoot too.
Yeah. I
Dwight
just don't think
Howard. Dwight Howard had an ugly shot too.
Yeah,
He
Kevin Martin had an ugly shot. They say Kevin Martin had an ugly shot. They
Yeah.
say Joakim Noah had an ugly shot.
Joakim. Oh, there you go. That's who I was thinking, but didn't think of his name right away. Joakim had a horrible, ugly shot.
But Tayshaun Prince had an ugly shot.
Yeah, he had it. But
yeah.
Tayshaun, he could shoot because he was a lefty.
True.
Yeah, he was a lefty. You know who else had a that two-handed weird shot? And if anybody never seen it, you got to go on YouTube and see it. Remember Sean Marion?
That's yeah.
Sean Marion used to just throw it up.
Yeah.
He looked like he wasn't aiming it. He was just throwing it up, hoping that it would go in. He just said, "All right, if I just lift this up in the air, it might hit the rim and go in, or I might backboard it." Right?
Yeah, he has a weird shot.
His was like,
Yeah, but
kinda-
he wet them though.
oh yeah, he was good. He was an all-star too.
Yeah.
He was part of that Phoenix team with what is it?
He was in
Steve
Dallas.
Nash.
He was a part of that Dallas team that won the championship too.
Yeah, he was. But he was coming off the bench. Jason Terry, Dirk, they're the ones that really kind of pushed it. I think Jason Kidd was also part of that team. But like when he was at his best was when he was with Phoenix, with Steve Nash, Stoudemire, and I think remember that whole the team left the bench and Stoudemire was suspended and that brawl. I forgot what team it was. If it was in San Antonio, wasn't it? I forgot.
It was the Detroit versus Indiana.
No, this was like in the
Alice in the Palace.
No, not that one. No,
Not
it
that
was a
one?
playoff. It was playoff. But Stoudemire got suspended because he stepped on the court. I don't know if
Oh, that was Phoenix Suns versus Lakers.
it was
Wasn't
Lakers.
that?
Yeah, it was that one. And they could have won that game, and because of suspension, they didn't play the next game 7.
And then they won.
Lakers
yeah,
took
lost.
it,
Yeah.
but that was and plus that was also when Steve Nash, I believe, won back-to-back MVP.
That's when
he
the
stole
Kobe
over-
Bryant hated Rajah Bell.
Yeah, Rajah Bell. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
that was
yep.
like a big one.
Yeah, that was definitely a big one. But so Shawn Marion, he had. It's funny, as ugly as his shot is, he
It
had
wets
great
it.
success.
It
Great
wets
success.
But it's gonna be a good NBA.
I'm
NBA
excited.
team. But one thing I wanted to do before we go further, rest in peace to Cannon Hinnant. Rest in peace to Cannon. It's a horrible, horrible death. Obviously a neighbor came into close range and killed him.
Yeah, the
A lot of people, and I said rest in peace, but a lot
What
of
was he,
people.
6?
5. 5 years old. A lot of people try to use him as like a way of just saying, hey, see, they don't do it.
That's not
But-
right because it's isolated. It's
Yeah,
different.
Two different type
Yeah.
of stories. One is first of all, the justice order has been made. They lock him up. They're probably gonna use him as an example. Most likely gonna get life in prison. The other, the people are still walking free. They obviously some got arrested, but you can't use those two. It's two different type of situations. Whether you like it or not, canon justice will be made. It's a horrible, horrible death. We're not gonna condone it. I don't like this situation because he's such a young boy. He didn't even live his life yet. But two different type of situations. What happened to George Floyd was a totally different situation. They was not gonna get arrested until we had that riot or we had a protest. So totally different. So I always have to tell people. I see a lot of people on my Facebook saying, "What? How can you have outrage?"
I saw some of that too. Some of my
What kind of outrage can you have if someone's already?
It's completely different.
totally
you know?
different. You know, a lot of, and it's just pains me that a lot of people don't get it, and they still won't get it. No matter what you do, they still won't get it. And as I said before, with Kamala Harris, they're gonna use her skin color to actually try to bring her down.
Yeah, denigrate her name.
Yep.
Because of this or this is what she does and other things like that. It's just horrible.
So as I said before, rest in peace to Cannon. It's a tough situation, but rest in peace. Okay.
Yeah, very tragic.
Yeah, it's very tragic. But what else we got on? What else we got to talk about?
Actually, here's the thing. Did you get any females on your Facebook anywhere else on TV talking about the WAP video? I see it everywhere. I see it on the news. I see it on TV. The females are not liking the Cardi
Some
B.
people, but I listen to a lot of podcasts, and a lot of the females are trying to say, "Well, men do it. Why can't we do it?" So it's. I get it.
I'm for women to speak. You know,
empowerment and all that.
absolutely,
But that
exactly.
little thing down your throat, it's not for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put that in there. But it's not for everybody.
Yeah.
You gotta understand, it's not, that song is not for everybody.
Yeah.
Just like a lot of the men's songs now. I used to listen to a lot of rap. The whole I love rap.
Yeah, me
on
too.
there. But I'm an R&B, so I'm an R&B guy. I like that more than rap. It's always been my thing. That's why you see me like Usher, Chris Brown, and all those people more than rap.
Keith Sweat.
Keith Sweat was my thing. But you got to be open minded to listen to a lot of these songs these days. And I like rap because the beat is good. It just is. I can't listen to it on the car ride home.
Well, the WAP song.
Oh, yeah.
Cardi B. Yeah, of course not. Not
Oh, yeah.
the kids in there. Yeah.
Probably if if you want to spice up your relationship, listen to a rap song while you're having sex.
Yeah, why
That's
not?
how it goes.
So Macanelli.
Yeah, Macanelli. Yeah, what's the best sex song? You can't. Is it WAP? Is it WAP or WAP? It's WAP.
Yo, what about the LL Cool J doing it? Remember, like doing it.
I'd always felt like R&B is the better sex song than a
I
rap
gotcha.
song. You can't have sex in on a rap song. It's kind of crazy.
You can't. I can't think of a rap song you can really get busy with. You know?
You can't get busy with a rap
You
song.
know, Brian McKnight. I mean, you can just put something from Brian McKnight and it's already a go.
See, I listen to every song. That's what a lot of people forget. They keep their minds closed and always want to listen to just rap and rap only. I listen to R&B, rap. I listen to some soul, some little bit of Christian gospel. I listen to everything.
Dang,
I just don't listen. I just don't listen to country. I can't do the country thing.
Can't do the country either.
The rock and roll, it's some songs in rock and roll that's
yeah,
really
that's not
good.
bad. Remember the song? Is it Guns N' Roses? Put some sugar on me. Is it Guns N' Roses?
Hit
Remember
me
that?
with your best shot.
Yeah, that
you
chick,
know,
yeah.
you know how black people listen to a country song when they play Guitar Hero. Everybody try to play Guitar Hero back in the day. They hit me with your best shot. Guitar Hero made everybody think they're freaking the Goo Goo Dolls.
Yeah, all over the place. There's something really hot. Remember I Smell Sex and Candy?
Yeah.
That's a good one. That's a good rock
The
song.
only
right there.
country song I know is like a rhinestone cowboy.
Yeah, I remember that one. There's a few out there that was it Dolly Parton? She had there's the one by Kenny Rogers. There's you got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them. Yeah, that's a good
Dolly
song.
Parton has some nice ass breasts though.
Oh yeah,
all
beautiful
fake,
face
huh?
still.
All fake.
Probably she's a
All fake.
multi-millionaire.
She's
so
all
why
fake.
not?
My grandmother liked Dolly Parton. I was like, my grandma.
She was pretty.
I was like,
She was
grandma, you really
very-
like this? She's like, Dolly Parton.
Yeah, she probably
Dolly
has some good
Parton.
music.
You know, she's
Yeah.
Jamaican, so she got that Dolly
Yeah,
Parton.
Yeah, because it's like my aunt. She has two sons that she named after. One after Elvis and one after Michael Jackson. So there's Mike and Elvis. So
Mike and Elvis.
So yeah, so like her coming from Cape Verde, so she just listened to music and she was like, I love Elvis, I love Michael Jackson. She didn't know who they were. You know, we're talking about Cape Verde where they're playing Cape Verdean. You know,
Yeah.
that zouk.
Well, so I don't think we have anything else to talk about.
Yeah, there was that. Beyond that, I think then we covered it all today. I think it was a great episode.
So as I said before, we got to make sure everybody know. Remember, we got a Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to us sometimes, okay? So we're going to be out of here. Until next time, I'll talk to y'all later. Dipset.
Buckle up and get ready for a side of sass as I delve into a variety of topics regarding physical beauty. We'll take a look at our society's obsession with beauty and the consequences these impossible standards have. Let's face it, this fascination regarding physical beauty and body image isn't a recent phenomenon. It's been around for centuries, it's crossed borders, and it's affected men and women alike. So if you're interested, buckle up and hear me rant and rave every Friday. You can find us on Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, or any of your favorite podcasting apps. So tune in to Beauty Unlocked, the podcast.